How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Crow here. As a lot of you may have heard during the Summer Game Fest with Jeff Keighley, they had announced a release trailer for Lies of P. Lies of P is actually dropping this year in September 19th, but what the studio did was pretty amazing in my opinion. They dropped a early demo that you were able to play that same day, which unfortunately for me, I was not able to complete. So if you were watching me on stream, I did finish the first two bosses, and then I got kind of stuck. We're trying to be the third boss, and that's what we're gonna do here. I was initially gonna do a stream, but I got a little sidetracked with all the editing I was doing. The third boss is really freaking hard, at least to me, and maybe I'm a little stubborn. We're gonna see what I can do. Maybe I'll do a little bit of leveling up before we go fight him again. Honestly, what's really cool about this game is that it's very similar to all the other Souls games, even though it's not being directly made by them. So people are saying it's just plagiarizing, but in my opinion, it's not a crime to be inspired by something. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, that being said, it's not like they're copying the game either. I mean, it is obviously inspired, and so much of it is very Bloodborne-like. The settings, some of the animations look very similar to stuff we've seen in the past as well. But I think people don't understand that regardless of those things, you know, regardless of that being a thing, we are getting a lot more Souls-like games, and this is a very high-quality Souls-like game. Now, I don't claim to be a Souls-like expert, even though I've played a few myself and enjoyed games like, obviously, the most recent Elden Ring. I had like 200 hours in it. You gotta admit, like, this deserves a lot of praise. For us to get something even resembling a 60 frame rate version of Bloodborne, but not being Bloodborne, is pretty cool to me. Like, since Sony doesn't seem to want to be the ones to do it themselves, it's actually a real shame that we haven't gotten a Bloodborne remaster or a Bloodborne 2. Like, this is a missed opportunity that this studio seems to want to remedy, and they're doing a pretty damn good job of it. Now, if I'm being honest, this boss sucks so much. I feel like it might be a matter of not having the right materials, possibly having a better weapon, and upgrading. I think upgrading plays a huge factor in this. My hand under the table, pause. I feel like it makes it easier for me to concentrate when my hands are down there. As crazy as that sounds, I understand. Fully aware of what I just said. I mean, just look at the scenery. Like, this is obviously, you know what, like, graphically, besides Bloodborne, it also reminds me of Assassin's Creed Unity in a way, like how bleak it is. Nice little French setting as well. I really wish we would have gotten Unity 2, but you know, Ubisoft. My weapon's breaking. So I actually really like the durability system in this game. I don't know why I have like drift on my... I actually really like the durability system in this game, where you kind of basically get your own durability bar, and there is a sharpening tool that you get by default, but you also get additional ones that you can get in your inventory, like the shotgun I have, where it adds the buff, the electric buff. And that's actually really interesting, like a different concept of adding durability to weapons. Like, obviously, like games like Zelda have durability, but it's just a certain amount of blows and then it's gone. In this game, it just has a certain amount of blows for your effective weapon use, and then you have to, you know, bring it back up. Also, enemy weapons can be broken when you perfect guard and parry, which is really, really cool. I actually really like that. It incentivizes you to parry and block more, you know, perfectly, so that you can get more rewards from that. And I think that's a really interesting concept that's going to start building people's skill level. I mean, there will be people who will just ultimately not be able to do those things. Besides that, I think this game has some very interesting concepts, like weapons as well. You can take the weapons that you have, and the way that they're divided on this picture, you can actually disassemble them, take them off of the handle, and swap them around. So if you look closely at the attack abilities, my current weapon, I actually have two different weapons fused into one, which is the it's a blunt handle for a baton added onto the great sword blade, which actually keeps the stat motivity, which is basically the strength stat in this game, so that it's a B rank. And it also changes the way that the weapon attacks, since it's no longer a great sword, it's basically like a one-handed great sword, where it switched the movement style for it. And I think it's really cool how we're gonna get these different kind of combinations that are gonna work really well into some very interesting builds when the game actually launches. As you can see, my weapon is slightly slow, but I think it's a trade-off. Like I obviously wanted more damage to just take place, just like two-piecing enemies. Where the funny is, I've already explored this area before, and I still get surprised to this day by these enemies. I think there's a white jacket guy around here. Like I'm trying to go around for the Ergo. The Ergo is basically the souls in this game, the experience you need to level up Pinocchio. But I also don't want to die and lose it. That kind of defeats the purpose. But honestly, I'm actually really pleased with how this game runs. This game, albeit a demo, was 23 gigabytes on the Steam version, and it runs buttery smooth in my opinion. Like, no problems. Probably have VSync on. I don't even remember if it's on, but playing at the ultra settings, I'm having no problems. This is the first PC game in a long while that I got to just play right out the box and just enjoy. And it's a demo. Now, it's a long demo. For those of you who haven't tried it yet and you're interested in Lies of P, remember this game is available on all platforms. The demo is out on all platforms, and it is free to play right now. 3 bosses with plenty of areas to explore. Like, there's no reason to not do it, not play the game and try it out yourself. I suggest severely to try it out yourselves. I'm not getting paid to promote this either. This is just genuine joy. Like, it's one of those games that drop randomly and I just really want more of. Like, it's been a long time since the demo released, and I wanted to buy a game because of the demo. Like, they knew what they were doing with the marketing. Like, dropping the demo this year, it was probably the biggest flex I've seen from a game studio in a long time, because most game studios are afraid to drop demos because they're usually buggy or exposed to lack of content, or that there's issues with the games, and they're usually more often afraid than not to release content like that because they know that's what's going to happen to them. Now, if you ask me, they were not afraid to drop this, and I'm so glad that they weren't. Because this game honestly feels ready to launch. They're probably just gonna, you know, work out a few kinks for the main game, but this feels pretty much like a completed game. And if you were to ask me, outside of like maybe Neo, this might be the best, and no exaggeration, this might be the best Souls-like game I've played that's not made from Software. I know that's big praise, and a lot of people might even criticize that because they might have other games that they think are well up to that, you know, that statement. But this game is just fantastic, and I feel like the reason why I like it so much is because at its core it reminds me of Bloodborne. It doesn't just remind me of Dark Souls or whatever, even though most of their games are very similar from Software. It just directly reminds me of Bloodborne, and I think that to me is more than good enough. Another interesting ability that they have in this game is this ability called Fuse, where you can add, I believe, your Ergo, which is the 3 bars at the top left, to your weapon, and you can have special animations. Like, this is like a special attack. I'm not really sure what it does. I guess it's an unguardable attack. So like, if an enemy is guarding, you can use it to pretty much bypass it. Depending on the weapon, you might have some different kinds of abilities, like secondary abilities. Like this one, I'm pretty sure it allows me to strengthen the weapon, which is why it turns bloody red, and it does more damage. So fabled arts, they're called fable arts. The first one is Link Slash, and then Strike Chance. I don't think a lot of people thought about this, but since this game is dropping in September with a possible release of Elden Ring DLC, it means Soul fans are going to be eating really good later this year, and I'm all the more down and excited for it. I also like that you can block the bullets that they shoot, and if you time it perfectly, you take no damage. So perfect guarding basically nullifies an attack. I'm not sure if it affects your weapon durability. I'm personally, for me, I feel like the Souls games are so good in having the different abilities and builds that you can make, where you can have some of the most creative things you've ever seen, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. I don't think I've actually explored this city down here. I believe the name of the city is called Krat. You start off this game looking for Geppetto. You wake up basically in a very similar scenario as Bloodborne. I know I've said it multiple times, used the word Bloodborne, but you start in an empty room by yourself with a white little blousey shirt, and you just go exploring. You immediately wake up looking for your father. Barely any information is given to you, which is pretty obvious at that point. But I'm hoping that anyone who has tried the demo out is as excited as I am for this game, because personally, while I may not be getting paid to market this game, I am thoroughly enjoying it. So any little amount of traction I can bring to this game to get people to try it out. And actually, surprise news, I don't think I... and actually, the game's actually coming to Game Pass as well. I believe it's coming to Game Pass at launch. Even if you don't like Xbox and have a PC, you'll still be able to play it at launch with barely any cost. Alright, I think I figured out how I could possibly beat him. We're gonna go ahead and attempt it and see if this is gonna be the run. One thing I hate is having to run towards him, because all these damn enemies in the way are actually pretty annoying. Yep. I feel like I could never really get there with full health. One hit's not a big deal. Make it work. All right. I hate this. He was turning. I thought he was gonna fight the Spectre, but instead he decided I was the perfect bait. Spectre is dead, but I'm not saying much because I'm like really trying to focus. Oh my god, my arm is broken. Oh. Spectre's dead too now. Alright, well. It was nice while it lasted. Embarrassing. The default combo is not hard to block, or dodge. Everything else in between is the problem when you're me at this game. No more healing. I'm gonna play very passively because you can restore your healing pulse as long as you don't die and continue to get hit in. Okay, passively doesn't matter, especially when you suck at this game. Gotta breathe. God, the perception. It's my fault. Patience is key. As long as I breathe, pay attention. He overextends for that, which is great. And then he does that, which is fine. The reason why I back off is because there's a field. You probably saw the little ring that just happened. I don't overextend for that one because he recovers pretty fast. Most bosses attack pretty fast in succession, but they have patterns. And the reason why I move after dodging instead of immediately attacking is a lightning strike afterwards. If you watch the ground there in the second phase, it's always lightning strike afterwards. Trying to go for the grab. Oh no, I'm too far, I'm too far. Blocks his movements. About to swing. He won't swing. Oh no, no! Oh my God, the grab! He almost trapped me right next to his arm. All right, that's why you don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. I almost ate that. That's new. Alright, God, let's fucking go, bro. Oh my God. You had to be in the stream to know that I failed at him a million times over, mainly because I didn't know I could level up. I had to go back to the hotel to find the girl to find out that I could level up. I didn't know you could upgrade your weapons with the Asian girl behind the counter. Her name starts with E. I forgot her name. I didn't know any of these things were a thing, so I struggled on and on because I'm stubborn. I'm like, and they're like, oh, don't use the big sword. It's slow. I don't care. I did it. I freaking succeeded, and I'm so happy. Now we get to. Oh, actually, I'm happy and sad because that means I beat it, and now I get to now I get to finish the story. But it's not going that way. Actually, I just noticed that was Pinocchio at the loading screen. I seen the now lying, but I saw it on the left side. That was just his nose extended.
You saved Geppetto. Wonderful. He is on the second floor. He can hardly wait to see you.
Hey, Dad.
Ah, you've returned. Forgive a sentimental father for worrying about his son. Always remember that you're precious to me, even when I ask you to do something dangerous. Speaking of which, there's a factory just beyond Elysian Boulevard. It's packed with countless puppets. My friend, the inventor Venini, went to stop them, but he never came back. Please go save him and shut down the factory.
I'm all not over yet?
P-organs are the source of your powers. Collect quartz to get the strength you need.
I have a P organ already.
Remember, the hotel is the last safe place in Krat. It's our only refuge in in a city full of perils. It'll be extremely dangerous if anyone has ill intentions. Be careful who you tell about this place, especially if they're stalkers or alchemists. Be wary of dangerous people. And always be a good boy to me.
This is gonna be, oh my god, no, this game's gonna be so good. There's gonna be NPCs you can't trust that you can invite back to the hotel. It's just like Dark Souls, or like any of the Soulsborne games. You can't trust NPCs like Patches. All right, so that about does it for me. Thank you guys for joining me in this little demo dive just to finish it, even though I struggled a lot. I appreciate everybody who watched the video. If you did enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what other games you want me to try out. People do want me to try out Sekiro, as it is one of the last few Souls games I have not played. So maybe I might actually do that. Let me know if you think I should. Either way, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much.